Hello everyone, my name is Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games, and today we're going to be remaining in 2023. I haven't yet got over last year. We are going to be doing a tier listing video. Now, I follow a lot of video game YouTubers, and throughout the last couple of months I've been doing lots of tier lists with their various games, and tier lists are basically a way of ranking all the games they've played throughout the year or month or whatever, and just to give that a bit of a comparison and see which games are their favourites for the year. I haven't seen a single board game creator do this yet. Apologies if you have done it, it's just not something I have seen, and I don't really know why, because I think it's a really fantastic idea for a couple of reasons. The first one being quite selfish. I personally am at a place in my collection where I need to start thinking about moving some games along to make room for new games that I know are coming in, as well as games that I do want to purchase at some point and try. So this is going to be a really good way of helping me sift through games that sort of didn't hit my expectations, or ones that I know I need to put a bit more time and effort into to know whether I like them or not. So I thought this would be a really good visual way of doing that. And the second reason is for you guys. If any of you are new to the channel, or if anyone comes across me in the future and wants to have a quick, I say quick, this is not going to be a quick video, but an overview of what my interests are and what games I like and which games I'm not, I bounce off of a little bit. This is going to be a surefire way to see that. And I think it's, for myself, I find it a really useful way to know whether my interests are going to align with a content creator's. And I think that's really important when you're sort of taking their opinions on board about games, because my favourite game of all time is probably going to be very different from somebody else's, and I know a lot of people don't like some of my most favourite games of all time, and vice versa. So I think this is just a really good way to sort of see in a snapshot way what I personally like. I'll give you a very, very brief overview of each game and we'll go from there. So a very slight caveat, and maybe a couple of you will be a little bit disappointed, but I am not including my Uwe Rosenberg big box games in this list, just because this is something that I want to do completely separately. If you've been following my stuff at all, you will know that I'm doing a solo Uwe Rosenberg series, and so I want to put the time and effort into thinking and comparing those games between each other only at that point in time. I haven't even finished going through all of the games yet, so I thought I would remove them from this list altogether and just keep that as a separate entity for now, and we will look at that later in the year. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into this list. This is going to be a really, really long one, so I will be as snappy as I can be. I did actually film this last week. I'm really sorry that a video has not come. Oh, I haven't been very on top of videos lately. I filmed this one. It took honestly about 4 to 5 hours all in all to set up, film, start to edit, etc., until I realised that the microphone situation was abysmal, and it's not the greatest now, I know, but it was unusable, so I had to delete the entire footage and I didn't get a chance to re-record it. So this is part 2. I already know in my head, I've already ranked all of these games and we're ranking them again. So if you're unfamiliar with tier listings, we've got a couple of tiers here. You can have as many as you want, but I am going to just do S to D. So S tier games are like my special games. These are ones that are like my absolute favourites. There's very minimal things negative to say about them. Most of these are probably going to have a very strong solo mode, because I am predominantly a solo player. I do have a few multiplayer only games in this list today. I will still be ranking them. A tier games are brilliant games, but there may just be something that doesn't quite click, or maybe needs a bit of work or something. B tier games are good games. May have some things that bring it down a little bit, maybe a solo mode, maybe the component quality, something that doesn't quite hit the nail on the head. C tier games are going to be games that I maybe like, but I feel like I either need to put more time into, or I'm just not quite sure whether it's for me yet. And D tier games are ones that I played and I know that it's not really for me. Not necessarily saying they are bad games, but they're just not my cup of tea. So we're going to get straight into it. It'll be really interesting to compare this one to my last tier list that I did last week to see whether in my head I'm still ranking the same. But we're going to hit it off with Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein. I love this game. It's not solo at the box, but they have created a solo mode that you can download. It plays quite different to the base game, but it's much more of a race, but I find this one really, really thematic and a really great time. And I am definitely putting it into A tier. There's very minimal things to say about it from a negative perspective for me. I don't think it's too long. It is very gruesome, so it's not for everyone, and there is a lot of luck in it, but I feel like there's a reasonable amount to sort of offset that. So Abomination is going to be mine, I think, for A tier. Yeah, I think we're happy with that. So the next one is Ada Lovelace, Consulting Detective. So this is a print and play copy that I downloaded for Board Game Geek last year. I don't know whether this is going to be implemented into a game. It may have already, I don't know. But this is basically quite a simple game where you have, I think you're rolling die, and then those die are associated with shapes. And the idea is that you're trying to fit these shapes into these like buildings, surrounding pieces of evidence to help you solve a mystery, a case. It was very simple, but it was quite fun, and I had a good time playing it. You know, there's not enough there for it to be anything like super special, but it was definitely one that I would go back and play again. So yeah, I'm gonna put Ada Lovelace, Consulting Detective in B tier, I think. Next is Alchemists. So Alchemists, honestly, is one of my favorite games of all time. It's fabulous. So this is like a deduction game. I liken it to Cluedo. So you've got like hidden information that you're trying to figure out, and the best thing about it is you've got this app on your phone, you're scanning potion ingredients, and it's coming up with what potion you brewed once you mix them together. It's absolutely fabulous. There is a solo mode. It's not, the thing about this game is that it is definitely best with multiple players. I play it 2-player, I expect it would be a lot of fun with 3 to 4 players. So it is soloable, but there is like an element of like bluffing and trading, not trading, but trading with a trader in the game that has like a little competition in it. So when you play it solo, it's definitely missing that aspect. I don't ever see myself getting rid of this game though. So I think it's going in A. I think it misses out S just slightly because it doesn't have a great solo mode, and I think the more you play this game, like your brain is just going to work in that way. So I don't think you'd want to play it like really, really often. It's definitely one that you sort of need to take a little bit of time apart between plays. But fabulous time. I love the Alchemist. So it's just Alchemist over. So the next one is Arkham Noir. Now this is case number 2. Arkham Noir is like based in the Arkham universe, so H.P. Lovecraft stories. And this is a card game which you're trying to like symbol match. It's exceedingly difficult. I very seldom win, but it's a very thematic experience that I very much enjoy. Is it B tier or is it A tier? I'm not sure it's A tier just because of how hard it is. It is very, very difficult. But it is a really great time, and I really love the theme and the black and white aesthetics. I think it's going in B just because I feel like sometimes I need to be in the mood for it because of its difficulty. Yeah, we may shuffle these around at some point. Okay, Arc Nova. I am sticking this way up into S tier. I absolutely love Arc Nova for the theme, how it looks on the table, and I love the solo mode. I love the solo mode in the box because it's quite a quick turnover, and it feels different from playing like a multiplayer game, which some people may not like. But there is a fan-made variant called Arno, and I absolutely think that is stupendous as well. So S tier for me for Arc Nova. It's a really brilliant game, and I have a brilliant time with it. Birdscaping. Now this is another, as you can see, I've got a few like print and plays in here. So I went through a like print and play phase in March last year. Birdscaping is one that's like based on Wingspan. I believe it takes an awful lot of ideas from there. And they may have even created it with permission from the Wingspan people, because it is basically Wingspan in a slightly different format, from my understanding. I thought it was okay. I'm not sure I grasp the rules fully. I didn't play it that much. I really love the art of this. Like, this is a really, really beautiful like picture here, and the birds are really pretty. But I think I'm going to put it in C, just because I didn't quite grasp it as quickly as I did some of these other print and plays I played. And I'm not sure I want to go back to it, but I think it will definitely be for some people. Just not me, maybe. All right, now we're going to go on to Bitoku. Now, it was really funny when I was doing my last video, my December vlog, because I just got Bitoku at that point. And I think I played one multi-handed game and one solo game. And I thought when I was editing the video, I looked so downhearted about Bitoku, and I was just like, watching it back really confused, because I was like, I really like Bitoku, why am I looking so down about it? And I think this one took me on a journey. Like, when I played the multi-handed version, I was very much like, okay, this is good, complicated but good. Then I tried the solo mode, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. And I was just, it plummeted a little bit, because I was like shocked. I was in shock of how much there was to understand. Then I played it again, and then it went all the way back up again. So controversially maybe, I am sticking Bitoku at the moment into S tier. It has sat on my table for over 2 weeks now, pushing 2.5 weeks, and I want to play it every day, practically. It's brilliant. Now, the solo mode is definitely, like, as I said at the beginning, that these games are not always going to be ones that I recommend to people. And I would only recommend Bitoku to people who are going to absolutely dedicate their time and effort into learning an exceedingly complicated solo mode. But once you get it, it's very procedural, so there's not too much to think about to run it. There's a lot to go through and work through. But it's so clever, and it really does. They're not necessarily doing everything like a human person would do on their turn, but the end result of whatever they're fiddling around with does ultimately feel like you are competing with a very good opponent. And I love the difficulty of it as well. It's like spot on. Like, I've only won once by 1 point, but it's just enough to keep me coming back for more. It's gorgeous as well. It's a really special game for me at the moment, and I don't know whether that's just because it's brand new to me, but it's definitely gonna just sink to A if it does at all. But it really, really good solo mode. It just is very heavy in the upkeep, and the rules could have been better, but there are clarifications online that I've now gone through. Alright, Bleak Moor, Smugglers and Wreckers. So this was a game that was very kindly provided to me by the publisher. I'll put the details down below in the description. But this is one, it's another print and play. You can get a printed copy of this one, but I'm unsure how their printing cycle works. They're done in very, very small numbers. So if you did want this one, the print and play option is probably going to be your best bet. You are essentially like controlling a crew of people who are smugglers, and they all have like different powers. So some of them can be like on the lookout for various ships, and your idea is that you're trying to crash these ships and then loot them. I thought that some of the player powers were a little bit skewed, so I think some of them were definitely much more powerful than the others. But I did quite like the theme. I'm not sure whether it's one that I would go back to that often, so I'm not sure whether it's going to go in B or C. I think maybe C tier, but I think I like it more than Birdscaping. Do I like it as much as Ada Lovelace? Yes, actually, I think it was a very interesting concept, so I think we're going to push it up to B. Okay, now we're on to the Bloody Inn. Bloody Inn is amazing. Such a good game. This is going into A, I think. I don't know whether this is A or S. I think, what do I not like about the Bloody Inn? I think there is a certain way to play it. Like, playing it back to back a few times, you can sort of fall into a certain pattern of playing, so maybe it pushes it down a little bit. I think the expansion would be really fun to get hold of. And this one plays brilliant solo as well. So yeah, I think this is going to go into A tier. I really, really enjoy the Bloody Inn. I really like the theme as well. The next one is called the Butterfly Collector. Now, this is a print and play as well, and I will say that this copy that I played It was entered into the print and play competition for 2023. I don't know the outcome of that, I don't follow it, but I saw it and I thought it looked really interesting. So I could have played, I think, a very early version, one that was unfinished, not polished, the rules written weren't like brilliant, etc., etc. I really appreciated what it was doing. It was like a little bit of escape room experience. You had like a deck of cards. It was a one-shot type thing. And you had like a couple of puzzles to go through and you were trying to escape this area. So I really, really enjoyed what it was doing. It just wasn't quite enough for me and it wasn't very polished, but I absolutely understand that it was in very early stages. But it was a good time. It pleasantly surprised me and it was a really different sort of experience. So I'm going to put that into B, I think. The next one sort of inspired the channel, if you like. This is Call to Adventure Epic Origins. I was about to receive that game and I was really excited about it, and there's only so much that I want to yabber on to my husband about being excited about a board game. And it was at that point as well that I sort of was seeing a lot of playthroughs that weren't really like covering the games that I were interested in, or they were very much like waffly and rules heavy and setup heavy rather than actually going into the playthrough. And so it inspired me a little bit to like start the channel. This is definitely a fun time. It's very much character builder-esque instead of a game, which I wasn't really sure whether that was what I wanted from a game, but I definitely enjoy it. Funnily enough, it was one that I actually wanted to play prior to playing Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is a video game that's like Dungeons and Dragons, or it is in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and before I actually wanted to play through Call to Adventure to build up the idea of my background and my like class and everything for that, and then translate that into Baldur's Gate 3, but I never did. It would have been a really cool idea. I think it's going to go into B tier, just because it is good. It's not like amazing, but it's definitely one that I would like to keep around for a little bit longer, because it's very much like aesthetically pleasing and story building rather than a challenge or to play through. So it's one I enjoyed. It's just one that I don't want to play all the time. But I think B tier are ones that I enjoy playing, but not all the time. I need to be in the mood for. A tier, I'm pretty much in the mood to play all the time. Carcassonne. So Carcassonne, this is just the stripped back base game with the river expansion in. You could just buy that and it's included automatically. This is a very old printing that I've got. This is one that's going to stay in my collection for a very, very long time because it's so easy to get out and play. It's not doing anything too complicated, so it's very approachable. So I don't know whether it's getting an A tier just because it's obviously not a solo game. My tastes have very much changed in terms of if I was playing a game and I was choosing it, I would always go for something a little bit more. But to play with people when they're a little bit newer to the hobby is a fantastic one. So I think B tier for this one. Am I happy with B tier? I mean, it is a staple in my collection. I don't see it going anywhere. Maybe is that A tier criteria then, really? I don't think I've ever not fancied a game of Carcassonne. Alright, it's going in A tier, I think. Alright, I think we're happy with A tier. I can't remember where it landed before. We'll stick with A. Next is Cartographers. So Cartographers, again, this is like the base game. So this is a roll and write where you are drawing on a map, trying to score as many points as possible according to the scoring criteria. This was very much one of my relaxation games for this year. I sort of rediscovered it in a way. It's one that had sat on my shelf for a very long time, and I just decided to get it out again one day, and I was so surprised at how relaxing and lovely it was, and I had a blast with it, and I played it back to back to back so many times. This is going into S tier because it's so approachable, it's beautiful, it's got many expansions. I know it's perfect solo, it's really good multiplayer. There's not a single bad thing I can say about it, other than there's not enough content in it. I want like more scoring criteria, but I know I can get that in an expansion, so that's not enough to push it down here. And I always say when I do like playthroughs, I think this is my favourite roll and write. So I think I've got a few favourite roll and writes, and I'm not sure which one comes out on top. Next is Cascadia. Now this is another new entry as well because I received both Cascadia and Bitoku for Christmas. Cascadia is going into S tier because it's beautiful, it's a really lovely spatial puzzle. I love the effort that they put into the solo mode here. It's really, really gorgeous, and I have a lot of fun with it. It's just a really good time as well. It only takes about half an hour to play, and it's a really good spatial puzzle that has a good amount of thinkiness to it without being overwhelming. So it is quite a like relaxing game as well, so it's really good. I really like Cascadia. And I want to compare it to another game, which we'll talk about later. Clinic is the next, so this is the deluxe edition. So I haven't played Clinic for a little while, however it's one that I'm really excited to play again. I love the fact that they integrate a couple of little tiny expansions in, but they don't feel overwhelming. And they just like change the game up just slightly. I love how the theme of this one, how it's very different to anything else I've played. This is going into A tier. It's one that I have a really good time with. I like it solo. Maybe I would like the solo mode to be pushed that a little bit more, I think, which is why it's not into S tier. But it's a really fun game, and it does a lot. There's quite a lot to it. CO2 Second Chance. So this is the first Vital Lacerda game on the list today. This one took me on a roller coaster when I played it. So the first time I played it, or the first couple of times, I think I said to my husband, like, this could be one of the best games I have ever played. This could be my favourite game. And then suddenly I took a nosedive. I was like, I don't understand how to win here. When you're playing solo, it's a real challenge. What I find in this game is that there's only like one path to victory. Everything's so punishing and so tight that unless you plan out every single move and decision correctly from the beginning of the game to satisfy each of these criteria as you go along, I don't see how you can win. I think that that's the case, and there's definitely things you can do to like make it an easier time, but that's not how it's meant to be played out the box. So I'm thinking it's C tier at the moment because I do enjoy playing it. It's one that I want to play more, but I'm not sure about at the moment. Multiplayer is a little bit easier, but not much. But I love the aesthetics of this. On the table, it's gorgeous, and I love the wooden, call them meeples, but they're like all the factories. So you've got meeple solar farms and wind farms. It's a real looker. Chocolate Factory is the next game on the list. So I really have a good time with Chocolate Factory. The solo mode was the first solo mode I believe that the designer had created. He did a really good job, but there's a few things that I just wish were implemented, like a target score and maybe an AI to play against and things like that. So it pushes it down a little bit for me. Aesthetically, it's just one of the most charming games. A tier for me. I have a good time with Chocolate Factory, and it's wonderful multiplayer as well. Have a really good time with that one. As usual, I have a good time with all of them. Alright, so Coffee Roaster is next. So where do I put Coffee Roaster? Absolutely so unique, and the theme is really implemented really well. The replayability of this one is really good. I think this is going into A tier. I don't think it can reach S, just because I feel like at the beginning of the game, although all of the different coffees that you're brewing are different and you're trying to do different things to get the best score possible each time, at the beginning of the game, the differences only take place in the latter half of the game each time, I feel. Like the first part, you're sort of drawing such little amounts of tokens that there's not a lot you can do with them. So I feel like if you played this back to back to back lots and lots of times, it would feel quite similar. So A tier for me is a really lovely, relaxing game. But I don't think it's enough to be S tier. I've got a lot of S tier games considering we have got a lot of games to get through. So Devoured is the next one. This is Devoured Fallen Colossus. So I have a written review of this one with Diary of a Lincoln Geek, so I'll link that one down below if you're interested in seeing my in-depth thoughts on it. This is a really interesting, it's a little bit of a create your own adventure type game, but not really. You are sort of going through a story, trying to complete as many chapters as possible to escape your situation, and you are choosing a direction card to progress your story, fight like things you encounter, level up, and try and maintain your body, mind, and spirit. Beautiful game on the table. It's all black and white except for these brightly coloured cubes. It's a really good game, very thematic. It's just not overly replayable. So I think it's going to go in B tier. It's one that I'd like to revisit, and I definitely like it more than these two, I think. But ultimately, as it's quite a story-based game with not like a massive amount of content, I don't think it's going to get higher than that. But it's one that I've had a good experience with so far. Now we're going on to Double. I know that a lot of people were like, why do you still play Double? There's so many better games on the market, but there's just something about Double that is so approachable to other people. It's chaotic enough to keep people interested, and it doesn't really take any time to teach. I have 2 copies. I have the standard Double, this one, and the Harry Potter version as well. I'm sticking it in A tier. It's a fabulous little party game, and I love Double. It creates such good laughs. This is another print and play. This is Dr. Smugglefreud's Marvelous Machine, I believe. Aesthetically, I was really interested in this one. It's like a machine parts that you're trying to activate for their various powers, and you move the cards according to what it says, and you rotate them and things like that. I didn't really understand it that much, and so I only played it a few times, but I did lose interest, if I'm totally honest, and I don't really want to go back to it. So I think it will be for some people, just not for me. Okay, so Earth is the next one. I wanted to like Earth so much more than I do, and I can't really tell you why. It just doesn't grab me. I don't know whether it's the aesthetics. I mean, it is very pretty, but it's just, there's just something about it that just doesn't keep my interest. So I like it. It's a good game. The solo is good as well. I don't like the way it scores. It's so long-winded with the scoring. I'm going to put it in B. I like these games so much more than Earth. Yeah, that's just it. I can't explain why I'm just not been captured by Earth as much as I thought I would. And a lot of people are also loving Earth, but I'm just not. It's fine. It's a good game. I enjoy it, but that's about it. Everdell is going into A. Absolutely gorgeous game, one of the prettiest games in my collection. Solo out the box is not for me. I don't like that very much, but I have since found a better solo mode in Board Game Geek that I've been enjoying a lot more. So that one's going into A tier. Have a wonderful time with Everdell. Just takes up a lot of space. Final Girl. So this is not the core box. This is one of the more basic feature films. So the core box is just black, so I thought this would look better. Final Girl, my opinion of Final Girl has changed a little bit since I first played it. I really did enjoy it when I first played it. I thought it was very clever. The theme comes through in a really cinematic way. I have to be honest though, my interest in it has just diminished a little bit. I haven't played it for a while now, and I haven't had the inclination to get this back out again, and I have absolutely no idea why. I can't tell you why. I think it may be like a bit of a combination between the fact that you can die very easily and very quickly, and so when you've spent 20 minutes setting up a game and then it finishes very quickly is a bit of a disappointment. And also I think the setup itself is quite complicated because I've got 3 boxes now, so I've got 2 feature films and the core box. It's probably my like organization skills, but when to set it up, everything's a little bit everywhere and is a little bit fiddly, so sometimes I just can't be bothered. So I like it, but ultimately I'm not 100% sold on it. But it is good, and the stories that's woven so far have been a real laugh. It's made me laugh out loud, this game. So it is B tier, I think. I do have to be in the mood to play it, so B tier for me. Dominion. So Dominion is a game that I played at a board game cafe, so I have extremely limited experience with this one. So I'm just sort of rating this one on my initial impression. Did it grab me, and do I want to find out more? The answer is yes. So I'm going to stick it into B tier just because it can't go into A or S because I don't know enough about it. But it's definitely one that I want to see more of. So that's like an original deck buildery game. It might be one of the first ones. And lots of other games are taking lots of ideas from Dominion. Castle Panic is a cooperative game. One of my favorite cooperative games, I think, in my collection. For the weight of it. It's a much simpler game. It's like a simple tower defense. I played it with my family as well, so it is family approachable. Is it A or is it B tier? I mean, as usual, when I choose a board game to play, I will probably not gravitate towards it because I prefer something with a little bit more meat to it. But I don't see it leaving the collection. I think, therefore, let's stick it by Carcassonne. Let's move you over, come on. Because I think, honestly, that these two go hand in hand. I think I have a lot of play out of Carcassonne, the same amount as Castle Panic. These ones aren't like rated in order, by the way, so I don't like Ark Nova better than Bitoku or anything like that. That would be way too complicated, so we're not doing that. I think A tier for Castle Panic is a good one. Alright, so this is another... I'm going to stick this into an S tier. So we've got two S tier roll and rides. I love Dinosaur Island. Just something about the whole way it comes together with the roll and write format in your dice placement, managing your threat versus your security level. So cool. The length of it as well is much more of a meatier experience, so I have a wonderful time with it. I wish there was like a bit more artwork involved with the dinosaurs, but you can't have everything, I guess. But that's just, you know, a small aesthetic point. I don't know whether I like it more than Cartographers. I think maybe I like it a little bit more than Cartographers, but Cartographers scratches a different itch. That one's you can play it in 20 minutes and have a relax. Whereas Dinosaur Island is like a good 45 minutes experience and is a little bit more involved. You've got to think about what you're doing. So it depends. I can't really compare them because I want to play them at different points. We seem to have a lot of good games. We played a lot of good games in 2023. Alright, next one is Exit the Game, The Enchanted Forest. I won't think too much about this one because this is just a one and done escape room experience. I really did enjoy the theme of this one, and I thought the puzzles were sort of aimed at about my level. They were good. The theme is just really charming. It's very fairy tale based. Should I stick that in B tier? Or shall I stick that in A tier? It's difficult to compare this one really because it's a one and done thing. Like when I first started playing the Exit games, I was really trying to be like, oh, we'll try and keep it as nice as possible because we'll maybe be able to like hand it off onto some friends or family and they can play it themselves. Within 5 minutes of the game, that went down the toilet. You absolutely need to get fully involved in this cutting and tearing and poking things through, whatnot. There's no other way to really play it. So from that perspective, maybe it's B tier, but I had a very, very good time with it. Yeah, let's stick it in B. Flamecraft is, I can't say too much about that. There's another one that I played at a board game cafe. So I've played it once, and multiplayer. I had a really good time and I would like to play it a lot more because the aesthetics of this one and the theme are really my cup of tea. So from that perspective alone, it has to go into B tier just because I can't push it further up with my knowledge on it at the moment, but I would suspect it would land in A if I played it more. There was a lot more to it than I thought there was going to be, so that was a pleasant surprise. Flashpoint is one, once again, all the Board Game Cafe ones are coming out at once. So I played this one again at Board Game Cafe very recently. I was less enthralled with it than I was with like Dominion and Flamecraft. I think I like it better than Pandemic. I'm not much of a Pandemic fan, if I'm totally honest. If I was to play a cooperative game, I think I would prefer to play Castle Panic over Flashpoint, but it was interesting. But I don't think I would go back to it necessarily. But I would definitely like say yes, I would be up for a play. But just my personal experience, I would want more from a game now. It's quite a simple game. So it's going in C, I think. For Northwood, now I have only got the print and play copy. I know you can get the hard copy. I would like to try and find that one at some point, but it's not one that I'm like specifically seeking out. For Northwood is a solo-only trick-taking game, and so it's quite a bizarre concept, but it's so clever. And the replayability of this one is really high. It's lovely. Really, really great game. What brings it down for me is its artwork, which is weird because it's very cute. It's lovely. But quite honestly, I thought this was a game for children before I actually listened to what people were saying about it and read the fact that it said solo trick-taking game on the box. But you know, it looks like at home in your child's nursery, so I don't know why they went down that route for when it's a game that is not aimed at children. It's too cutesy, and as lovely as that is, it doesn't fit what it's going for, I don't think. So A tier for me, I have a really great time with for Northwood. Alright, next is Friday. So Friday is a solo-only card game. Where does this one go? I think we're going to start our second row of B tier games. The reason being is that I think it's a really fun, interesting deck builder. It really does give you that experience of trying to gain as many powerful cards as possible, but also balances out the stripping out of your old rubbish ones a lot more than a lot of deck builders do. Like I haven't played like a huge amount of deck builders, but there's always much more focus on gaining those powerful cards than stripping out the old naff ones. But Friday, I feel, is the other way around, and it really focuses on streamlining your deck as much as possible. I do feel though that if you have played it a lot, you can definitely learn to sort of solve the game a little bit, and you definitely know how to get a lot better at it. And I think it's a lot less exciting at that point. I'm not quite there yet, but usually I can do a reasonable play of it. I don't want to say that too much because I will probably at some point do a playthrough of this one and it will probably go horrible. But I think B tier. I do need to be in the mood to play it, but it's fun when I do. Frosthaven, wow. What a game to rate. Unfortunately, I don't think it could go into S tier because the solo mode was a bit of a disappointment to me. And I think that this game is too admin heavy. I really appreciate the changes that it's made from Gloomhaven. And it's a fantastic experience. I have so much fun playing it through with my husband, but the admin of the whole, I don't remember, I haven't played it for a while, but the phase that happens after your whole scenario, it does drag the game on a little bit. It overstays. At that point, I'm ready for the game to finish, and yet you still need to go through all of those motions. Going into A tier, let's push you over there. So yeah, really, really wonderful, wonderful experience, but just misses the mark slightly in some of the streamlining aspects, and the solo just isn't enough for me, and it's too difficult. Fungi, let's stick Fungi up here so we can see it. So there's not much to say about Fungi. It's a very simple set collection game. There is a solo mode that's been fan made that I played a couple of times, which is a fun way to play if I was like really wanting to play this game, which is why I was like, I really want to get Fungi out again, which is why I found that one. I don't think it does anything that interesting nowadays. Now I've played quite a few different games. aesthetically it's very pretty, but it's one that I would be happy to maybe like replace with something a little bit more, but it's a fun time when I do play it. Not much more to say about it really. Very simple set collection. Genotype is the next one. Now where's Genotype going? I know where I put it last time. Does it deserve to go there? I put Genotype in S tier. Does it deserve to be in S tier alongside those? And I think the answer was yes. I love a lot of things about Genotype. I love the theme, I love the aesthetic, I love the dice rolling, I love the solo mode. Is there anything I don't like? I can't think of anything I don't like. It is a very difficult solo mode. This is why I haven't yet done a playthrough of this one. When what I try and do is if I get a new game, I try and play it a lot, film a playthrough, and then it goes on the shelf for a bit, and I continue that cycle for a little bit and revisit it at a later time. I didn't get to a point where I felt comfortable playing Genotype on camera because I was really quite poor at it. Not poor enough to put me off the game, which some of them have done before, just poor enough that I didn't want to try and tell you how to play it and show it off. So maybe that pushes it down slightly, but that's just me being silly. I love Genotype. It's a really fabulous game, and I love the theme of it as well. Scientifically breeding your pea plants is brilliant. Okay, let's move this one up while I discuss it. Ghost Blitz. So I've actually spoken about this one quite a lot over the last few videos. This is just a very simple party game. I played this one over Christmas with my family as well. It's just chaos. So you've got you've got one deck of cards with two different types of cards in it. And according to what symbol or objects and colours are available on the card, you have to choose the correct answer and grab that particular object in the centre of the table. So the fastest one wins. It gets chaotic and crazy, and I think it's actually really well balanced. When I played it over Christmas, it wasn't like a surefire of the gamers are going to win. So it's very approachable and really good family game, as long as you're up for chaotic party style games. It's going to go next to Double. I think that these two are hand in hand really good silly games, and they deserve to be there. Gloom, won't talk about it. I played it for about 20 minutes at Board Game Cafe, so it definitely deserves to be next to Dominion. I think the theme is really cool. I think the idea is that you're trying to make your I get it the wrong way around. It's trying to make everyone as miserable as possible, or trying to make your opponents as happy as possible, and your family as miserable as possible. So yeah, it's a silly, funny thematic game that I'd like to play it more to really understand how it played, because it's got see-through cards as well, so aesthetically it's really cool. Next one is Grand Austria Hotel. Grand Austria Hotel. So I was thinking about this one earlier today, about where I wanted to rank it, because I don't remember where I put it the last time. I think this deserves A tier. It misses out on S tier because I feel like it's very slightly too punishing for less experienced players. I love the solo mode in this one, and this one I have a playthrough of. It's not solo out the box, but the expansion gives you a solo mode or multiple solo modes, but I have the print and play just to play with the base game here. When I play a multiplayer, because I've played this one so much more than my husband, when you're doing the Emperor track, if you have reached your Emperor target, you get a bonus, but anyone that hasn't and may not have reached anything at all actually gets a detriment. Gets a negative, and so that pushes your players even further apart, and I think that that's a bit unnecessary. So I think for that reason it's going into A tier. I don't think it could go into S, but I love Grand Austria. It's probably one of my favorites on this tier here, so it's an A+, I would give it. So what's this one at? I've got so many games I can't even see what it is. Great Western Trail. Let's stick this one here so I can talk about it. So, I don't know how I feel about this game. I think it's not for me, but I think I may be jumping the gun a little bit. I think what I don't like about this game so far is the fact that you are racing, when you're playing solo, you are racing around the track again and again, trying to beat your opponent. And it's not a racing game as such, but you need to keep the pace, otherwise they're going to take all the best spots and just blow you out the water. I haven't won a solo game of this. What I prefer to do in games like this is actually engine build and deck build and activate all your abilities, and you can't necessarily do that as much as you want to. So I think I'm just not understanding how to play this style of game very well. I'm trying to think. Do I like it as much as Earth? Trying to think, like, if somebody asked me, do you want to play Earth or Great Western Trail? How would I feel? Because I look at Flamecraft, I'm like, I want to play Flamecraft out of all of these. Earth or Great Western Trail. I'm not sure it deserves to be down here. But then I just don't know if I like that style of game. But that feels really mean to put it in C. Oh gosh. Wonder where I put it last time. Okay, I'm gonna be mean and put it into C, but it's a C+. I definitely want to play it more. It's good along the lines of CO2, I think. I think both of these have aspects that I don't enjoy, but I want to play them both more to understand if I was just having a bad time with it that time I got it out, or whether that is my true feeling for it. It's definitely not a bad game, and I know that a lot of people will be a bit shocked about that. It's quite often on top 10 lists for their favourite games. And a content creator, I believe near me, is one of his favourite solo games. And yeah, I just bounced off of it a bit, and I want to understand why. Alright, Hadrian's Wall, S tier. We are going with the crunchier roll and write again into S tier. I love Hadrian's Wall so much. The solo campaign of going through all of the forts to build, fabulous. I love the depth of this one. If aesthetically as well, this one just brings it down. If this one was a different theme and a different art style, this one would be probably number 1 on the list of all of them. It just doesn't hit me. It's not my sort of style game like that, theme-wise, but mechanically it's brilliant. I don't really have too much bad to say about it. Next is Heat. Where do I want to put Heat? I think that's definitely going in A. That deserves an A tier. Have a wonderful time with it solo. It's a really fun racing game. I never would have thought I would have enjoyed a racing game solo. Especially as the theme, again, isn't for me. It's not one that I would gravitate to. But multiplayer as well, fabulous experience. There's so many different modules that you can put in and out of this one, and that just keeps it really interesting. The tracks are really cool as well. There's a lot here, and it does a fabulous job at what it sets out to do. Okay, so now we're going to Hitsy Road. If we were on aesthetics alone and theme, this would be very top of the list. What a fabulous implementation this has got. So this is an idea that a kid is designing a game in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So you've got bottle caps for tokens that he's created, and various cards that look like they've been taken from all sorts of scrap board games. Fabulous. There's a very simple game in this though, so I think that it is probably in B tier for me, just because there's not enough there to keep me coming back again and again. But I think I like it more than these. I have negatives to say about these. I don't really have much negative to say about Fungi. Does Fungi deserve to be in C tier? Probably because it's a bit simple for me nowadays. Maybe I want a bit more from it. But then Hitsy Road I want. So go in C tier. Alright, it's going in C. It's good. It's good. It just doesn't do a massive amount, and it's one that I haven't revisited for a while for that reason. You can play it solo as well. Oh, okay. Maybe C tier. Next, we are going to go with Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. I love Harry Potter so much. So I think this is the big draw to this one for me. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good game, but it definitely has its flaws. So one of the biggest flaws that we found was like in the market. So there's no turnover of cards essentially, and you can very much get stuck in a rut if you don't keep drawing cards with money on, because the idea is that you like lose all the money you gain on your turn if you don't spend it. So if you've got really expensive cards in the market, you can't physically spend that money. You just go round from round from round from round, not doing anything. So, and there's another thing as well with all of the like, enemies that are coming out. You like shuffle them all in the latter games, so the games get quite long. And it's also, it can be a very big challenge if you get some of the really powerful enemies out and you're still at the very beginning of the game. So as much as I absolutely love it, do I put it in A or B? I think it's a B plus for me, or an A. Is A minus? It, I don't know. I house rule it. We've house ruled some of the market issues. Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether it's A or B. I think we're gonna leave it an A because the theme pushes it above and beyond. I just want to immerse myself in everything Harry Potter, and then I'm happy. Might push it down later. Honey Buzz. So Honey Buzz is going into B tier. I really enjoy the theme and aesthetics of this game. It's just beautiful. The solo mode, I think it just doesn't quite do enough. And the multiplayer game as well, there isn't a huge amount of choice of what you're doing. And so I think it's a little bit limiting. So just slightly too simple for me, but I do very much enjoy it and is a gorgeous, gorgeous production. So I think that's going in B for now. Hoplomachus Victorum, wow. Hoplomachus Victorum, where do I start? So I think I very much like this game. It's just, I think my overall understanding isn't quite where it should be, and it doesn't quite fit my way of gaming nowadays. Even though saying that, I had Bitoku on my table for about 2.5 weeks. You need Hoplomachus Victorum on your table for 3 months straight, and I don't see myself getting into that swing of just staying with a singular game at that point. I really appreciate what I say. It's too difficult as well. It's too difficult for me, and I don't see another way of manipulating it into being easier. So I don't know whether it's going a B tier at the moment, with the idea that I think I just need to invest a lot more time and effort into it, or whether it's A because I know that it's a fabulous game. I don't know. You know what? It's going in B. It's going in B with the idea that it's probably going to get pushed up at some point. But then if somebody said, do you want to play Hoplomachus Victorum or Frosthaven, how do I feel? I don't know. You know what? I think let's talk about remastered. Because what I think in my head is that remastered is at the moment at A tier. I haven't played remastered for I think about a year now, so take this with a grain of salt, but there's multiple ways of playing remastered, and it just seems a lot more flexible and approachable. So you can play it like solo in various different modes. You can play it player versus player, you can play it in teams, you can play it cooperatively, and each play session is just much more condensed. From one hand, that's great because that means that it's just a bit more approachable, but from the other hand, this is, you know, half of the experience that Victorum is when you are immersed into this whole adventure. So yeah, these two are fluid in their rankings. I'm going to leave them like that though, because at the moment I would be more interested in just focusing on remastered for a bit and seeing how I feel about the universe and the mechanisms, and then I may consider diving back into Victorum at another point. and seeing if I can pull through some of that knowledge that I've gained from Remastered. I think. Next is Imperium Classics. Now, controversially, that's going into D tier. This is a game that I no longer own. I didn't really enjoy anything about this game. I didn't enjoy the solo mode, I didn't enjoy the multiplayer, I don't like the art, I don't know how it look. I don't like how it looks on the table. I didn't really feel that there was that much difference between the factions. You were either gaining lots and lots of a certain thing or gaining lots and lots of a slightly different thing, but they act in the same way. I can't really tell you why people like this so much. The rulebook was pretty poor as well. It overstays its welcome, in my opinion, and it was a real shame because I know a lot of people love this game, and it's designed by somebody who I really appreciate the solo modes of. Like, I believe this is a Turksy design up here for Patoku, and he's also done Imperium Classics, so, you know, opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't like it. Didn't like it. Here we have Isle of Trains All Aboard. So once again, I have a written review of this one. I will pop the link down below at Diary of a Lincoln Geek. I thought this was a really lovely small box train game. It had a lot of replayability. It was one of my most played games of last year. And I really like the effort that they put into the solo mode. It's a beat your own score, but also you've got a different way of playing where you play through different scenarios. I thought it was very cute. And I wouldn't mind having it in my collection, you know. Do I like it enough to be an A tier? Probably. But I'm just not sure if the theme captures me enough. Maybe it's B tier. It was a good game. I'm just not sure that it does anything that different for me to like really want to purchase my own copy, because this was not my own personal copy. Maybe B tier. I don't know. Controversial. This is difficult. It's even difficult doing it the second time round. Kanban EV. Okay, so this is the second Vital Lacerda game on the list. First is CO2 Second Chance. Kanban EV is a very work-like game. This is a game where you are working in the production industry of electric cars. The theme doesn't appeal to me. Visually, this is a beautiful game, but it's very, very clinical, very white, and very, like, I feel like I'm going to work when I play this game. So ultimately, it does bring it down. I thought I was going to love Kanban EV, and I don't think I love it, but I like it. So I think it's going to go into B. I need to play it more to understand whether I like it or not, like a huge amount. The solo mode as well is good. What I really don't like about this is how easy it is to lose very quickly. So at the end of every, like, I would say round, it's every week, you get evaluated, you have a meeting, and if you don't meet certain criteria or your victory points drops below 0, you get fired and you lose the game. And the amount of times that I lose the game at that point is really quite high. And at that point, you've played like a good 20-25 minutes of this, and you've already spent 20 minutes, half an hour setting it up. And so that just drops it for me. I don't like that. So quite often I ignore that loss and I just play through a whole game and just record it as a loss because I can't be bothered to restart. So that's a shame. But it's a good one. It's very well designed. Just maybe the theme just is a miss for me. Keystone North America. So this is the one I wanted to compare to Cascadia. And I can't decide, I can't decide which one I like more, but I think the winner is Keystone because of the implementation of that solo scenario booklet and how much story and you're involved in it, and it's beautiful writing and brings the whole story to life. Even though this is an abstract puzzle game, it's just stunning. I love it. One of my favourite solo games of all time. S tier for me. The next is Lobotomy. I have so many good things to say about Lobotomy, but also so many bad things to say about Lobotomy. It's a good game, it just needs a lot of work. This printing needed a lot of love and care to get it running. It's very difficult as well, so I house rule it quite a lot to be playable to me. That's obviously a me problem, not a game problem necessarily. I'm just not that good at these sorts of games. Thematically, fabulous. The minis and the overall aesthetics of the game is wonderful, but just misses the mark in a few areas. So B tier, because I really like getting it out. It definitely is one alongside Arkham Noir that I both like to play over Halloween, but probably won't think about now for the rest of the year. Lost Cities. Now, where do I stick Lost Cities? I love Lost Cities. This is one that I don't think there's a way to play solo. Or if there is, I don't think it'd be very good. This is definitely a multiplayer-based game, and it's definitely got a good sense of pushing your luck. It's really exciting, it's really approachable. There's various ways you can play, so you can play the full 3 games back to back like you're supposed to, or you can strip it back and do like a 20-minute game, so much flexibility. I think it's A tier. I can't imagine not wanting to play this game. It's a really, really wonderful one. Now, what is this? Oh, Mage Knight. Oh my god. So I think my thoughts of Mage Knight very much go alongside Hoplomachus Victorum. I've put so many hours into Mage Knight. And I've got the Ultimate Edition. So this is the picture of the, in fact, they look the same, but I've got the Ultimate Edition, so it's a massive box. It's so huge. And I haven't touched half of the content in there. And ultimately, I think that really puts me off. What I wish I'd done is gone for the base game and one of the expansions, which is the expansion which implements a lot of solo mode extras. I don't know where to put it, because I think my gaming interests are just changing a little bit. It needs so much input into it that every time I come back to it, I do have to relearn quite a lot. I'm not very good at the game either. So much so that I've never really explored the best way to play it solo, because that's a really challenging way to play solo, and I'm just not good enough to play it very well. I think it deserves B tier for me. It's good, and I would like to play it more. It's like a desert island game to me. Like, you could literally lock yourself in a room for 100 years and not see everything probably that the game has to offer. I do need to be in the mood to play it though. So yeah, I think that deserves that spot. What have we got here? Oh, Micro Macro. We're sticking you in A tier. Micro Macro is a game that I play multiplayer. You can play it solo, but half of the interest of this one is playing with other people. It's like a Where's Wally experience on a big black and white map, and you have murder cases or crime cases to solve. And it's a lot of fun. They're very mischievous puzzles and funny puzzles, amusing. You can play it with family. Some of the themes are a little bit, on the edge of being, they are crime based, so just be a little bit careful. But really wonderful, wonderful game. Had a lot of fun with it. I did actually play this one the year before. This is the second time we actually touched this game, and I do feel like maybe it would have been an S tier game. But the fact that it is like a one and done unless you have a really long time between it. So playing it again just definitely wasn't as fun as the first time, because I remembered a lot more of it than I thought I was going to, which was a shame. Next, we've got Mini Rogue. So this is another print and play. This is a very, very streamlined, stripped back dungeon crawling experience. And it achieves so much with like a minimal amount of components. It's amazing. I haven't gone back to it since, but it's one that I was actually exceedingly impressed with. So it's definitely going to go in B tier. And one of the better print and plays on this list. So I think it offers quite a lot, and it was a challenge, and it was fun and thematic. It was impressive. All right, so I think we're over halfway through the alphabet now, so we're not doing too bad. Mr. Cabbage Head's Garden. Now, And what do I think of Mr. Cabbage Head's Garden? Mr. Cabbage Head's Garden is a really, really fun solo game. I don't know whether it does like a huge amount to like push it into the higher categories. It's quite a simple game, and it is very much like a beat your own score type solo experience. I think you can play it multiplayer, but I'm not really sure why you would want to. It is very much like a solo only type game where you're focusing on your own area. I like it. Maybe it's one that I have to feel like I'm in the mood to play. I think it goes alongside these quite nicely. It's a cute game, but it doesn't do anything that special. Newton is the next. So we are pushing Newton into A, which I'm quite surprised at, but I haven't played Newton a huge amount. I got it last year as a gift, and I very much enjoyed playing it when I got it out. At that time, I think I had quite a few new games, so I moved on reasonably swiftly, but it stayed on my mind. It's got a really interesting way of scoring where you have to be very careful about like committing to certain things and ensuring you get your like meeples and player markers to certain areas on the board, otherwise you're going to end the game with next to no victory points. And you're also choosing various cards to like take out of the game at various points, but that then helps you enhance the strength of those actions for the rest of the game. Is a really, really interesting one to me, and I really, really want to play it a lot more, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised. So this is going into A tier, and I can't wait to get it out again. No Thanks. No Thanks is it you know what? I don't remember ranking this one last time. Maybe I missed it off. This is an S tier game for me. I love No Thanks. This is a party game, and what I love most about it is how you can play it with anyone and you don't necessarily know how the game is going to unfold because everyone acts so unpredictably. This is a game where you are trying to score as little points as possible, but you have to take cards and you are scoring points according to the value on the cards, and so you can be really like pushing your luck of trying to say no, 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 and spending all your counters to push it around to other people, or you can just go head first and grab the big numbers in the hope that everyone else ends up like gaining many more cards than you. It's a really interesting one, and it's one that I'm really excited to play with each new group of people because it's so fun to see how everyone reacts in those sorts of games. It's a wonderful one. I love it. One Deck Dungeon. Where should I put One Deck Dungeon? I think One Deck Dungeon is going to go into B tier because it fits in the category that I have to be in the mood to play it. It's a really good dice manipulation game where you are rolling lots and lots and lots of dice, tackling obstacles and monsters in your dungeon, and you are using like skills and potions and everything like that to manipulate the values to cover up boxes so you can progress further and further into the deeper depths of the dungeon. It's quite repetitive, and yeah, it's just quite repetitive, so I think it deserves B tier. It's a really fun solo game. You can play it multiplayer again, but it's just one that I don't think I would ever want to really play multiplayer. It's a good solo game. Anirim, another B tier. We're gonna have to start doing some scrolling. B tier for me because I need to be in the mood to play it. There's an awful lot of shuffling. So I think if I was regaining my collection, I would probably not replace this one because of the amount of shuffling. You're shuffling at various points in the game, not just like to set up or to like end a round. It's a really fun one, and this one encapsulates, I've got the second edition, so this encapsulates like 8 different expansions. And quite often I just play with the base game or like one of my favourite expansions, so I haven't explored like a huge amount of this game either. But it's a fun fun game. It's nice and different in terms of theme because it's like your nightmares that you're going around. So it's interesting and very visually pleasing. But it just doesn't do like a huge amount, and it's an effort to get out because of the shuffling, as I said. So it's fine. Oh, I think I have more S tier games today than I did last time. Paperback Adventures is an S tier game for me. It does so much for a word game, and I never really anticipated a word game would have word battling. You are taking down these like literature monsters. It's just so cool. And I love how it implements that, and I love how you work through books 1 to 3, going through all of that and gaining all these items that are really thematic, and it's a fabulous game. And I'm really surprised at how little people are speaking about it. Like, I don't see it posted about anywhere, and I don't really see people talking about it in any of the solo groups. And I'm really surprised because I think it does something very unique. It's very different to anything I've played before. Maybe people just don't like word games very much, but I was exceedingly impressed with it. So it's going into S tier for me. I definitely have gripes about it in terms of how it's set up to purchase. So you have to buy the core box, but you then have to buy an expansion box as well. Much like Final Girl, and I didn't like that aspect of it. But I do appreciate where it's coming from in that you can then select who you actually want to be. You can, adapt it a little bit more. But I didn't like that. But apart from that, fabulous game. All right, next one. How many have we got? Oh, we're actually a lot closer to the end than I thought. That's good. I was going to say, we've actually got quite a few games on this list so far, so I'm not sure how we're going to fit them all on. Patchwork is the next one. So this is the only Uwe Rosenberg game that I have got on this list today. Patchwork is a 2-player only experience, but you can find it a solo mode online, and I have played that one a few times, and it's fun. It doesn't do anything special, but I love Patchwork so much. It's going into A tier. It's one that I always want to play. It's hugely aesthetically pleasing. It's very quaint. You're using buttons as like a currency, and you're building up your patchwork quilt. It doesn't do anything that interesting, but everything just flows really well and doesn't take too long. It takes about half an hour to play, and we have a really wonderful time with it. I've taught it to other people as well, and they've enjoyed it. Very approachable, lovely game to have in your collection. The next one is Pugs and Mugs. I'm unfortunately going to stick that one into D tier. I do have a written review of this one if you're interested as part of Diary of a Lincoln Geek, and I will link that one down below. This is a game that I will say is not for me. I don't think it's a bad game, but it's just not, I'm not the target audience, and I'm not the sort of person that enjoys these sorts of games anyway, so I'm not surprised it's there. I think this one is a party game where you are, in fact, I don't even remember how it runs now. I think you're like set collecting and then trading sets of coloured pugs for that coloured mug, and you're trying to collect all the different coloured mugs, and you've got a little bit of player take that. So there's no solo mode in this one. So it's just got very minimal interest to me. It's too lightweight for me, and it's not really doing anything new or interesting. I think it would be much more of a family orientated game when you are just getting into the hobby, and maybe you have children that are interested in like pugs and dogs and things like that. It would really appeal to them because the artwork is just really lovely in this game, but just not for me. Next we've got Raiders of the North Sea. Now there's just something about this game that I've turned off with a little bit. It's fabulous. I love the mechanisms in this one where you are placing your meeple, doing the action, taking another meeple and doing that action. Really unique, makes it a very interesting, different game. Aesthetically as well, really gorgeous. I think it just maybe doesn't do quite enough, and I think this is one of the games that would benefit for with an expansion. I haven't explored any expansions of this game, and I know that they are very good. So I think that one would maybe bring it to life a little bit more. But I don't know, I'm just trying to think, how much do I like it? Would I like to play it as much as Honeybuzz? I think I would like to play it as much as Honeybuzz. Potentially. Yeah, I think so. I can't quite put my finger on where it's just dropped a little bit for me. Strange one. It's going in B. It's really, really good though. If you've not played it before, I would highly recommend it because it's just such an interesting game. Railroad Inc. I'm going to stick that one. This is the red edition. There's lots of different editions. You've got your red. I know you've got your red, yellow, green, and blue. I don't know if there's more. This is just the red. I've only played the red. This is a cute roll and write game where you are building up a map of like roads and railways. I don't think it does anything special. I'm also really poor at this game. Even when I'm teaching it to somebody for the first time, they're almost certain to beat me. I'm really bad at it. But it's just one that I don't find myself bringing out. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, so maybe it just doesn't do enough for me to keep my interest. The solo mode, I believe, I haven't played it solo for such a long time. I think that is a beat your own score, I think. So maybe that's why. It just doesn't do anything different. Alright, what have we got now? Robinson Crusoe. So Robinson Crusoe, I think deserves to be in B. So I still haven't played all of the scenarios in Robinson Crusoe. They are very challenging. I like the fact that they all play quite differently, and they're all very interesting. They are just very difficult, and I think aesthetically this game just lets it down a little bit. It's quite beige, and there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of tokens to sort out. And I think the overall arching idea of bringing it out and trying to sort through all those tokens and set it up and learn the rules for the scenario just pull it down a little bit for me. So I think it's in B tier. It's one that I have thought about moving on, but I do think I want to experience all these scenarios at least once and try and get wins from them before I consider doing that. And I'm very pleased to have played it. I understand why a lot of people like it. It's just maybe not my most favourite game, but it's very good. So Roll and Cook is, let's stick that there for now. Roll and Cook is another roll and write game. So this is one that is very busy looking when you press get it out. I don't know if this one is being implemented into a game at all. I think there is already a game that's extremely similar to this on the market. I can't quite remember the name of it at the moment, but you're basically rolling die, and from those die selecting ingredients, and when you collated some certain ingredients you can cook from recipes and serve dishes to your guests in your restaurant and gain points that way. I thought this was so much fun. I loved what it was doing. I loved the busyness on the sheet. So this is definitely, you know what, is it getting into A tier? I had a really good time with it. I like it a lot more than a few of these. I don't know. No, maybe it has to stay in B. But I think potentially if I played it a bit more, it could push up. It's doing quite a lot for a little game, and thematically it was really cute. Yeah, go with that. Root. Oh my god. Where do I put Root? So let's stick you in B for now. We'll talk about it. What do I think of Root? So Root out of the box is not solo. I think my plays last year were a mixture of solo and multiplayer. To play solo, you need at least one of the Clockwork expansions. What I really don't like about Root is the fact you can't play it solo out the base game box. You need to buy one of the expansions. And then on top of that, to play some more factions, so I've got some of the expansions which expands the number of factions you can play. I can't play solo with those because I don't have the second Clockwork solo box. So you need to buy like 4 or 5 loads of different boxes to get all of the solo content, and it gets very expensive then. but each faction plays so differently. They're so exciting to learn and really like get to know. This game is, if you don't know Root, it's a woodland animal war game. Like area control, and you're throwing bombs on these things, and you're like rioting in various areas. It's fabulous. Root, where do I put that? It's definitely not one that I want to play all the time, but I think that's just because of the sheer scale of it. But I have so much respect for what it's doing, and from a solo perspective, it's a difficult one to get to the table solo, because you do need to be quite careful about how you set it up and who you're playing against in terms of the AI, because they have certain reach factors, which means basically how far of an influence they have over certain areas, and if you are restricting yourself severely in that regard, then you're just going to be overwhelmed. So you need to balance that, which means sometimes you can't have that much choice about who you're playing or who you're playing with if you're multi-handing. Let's stick it here. How do I feel about it next to Everdell? I think it's going in A, because it does so much and it's a wonderful game. But I think it's I still wouldn't play Hoplomachus Remastered all the time. So it's going in A. I have so much respect for it. Wonderful game. Sentinels of the Multiverse. I'm sticking this in D. This is a game, I have a written review of this one as well. A very, very in-depth one. I don't think this is a bad game. I just don't think it's a good solo game. Also, on top of that, I don't think that I'm the best person for like card battlers. I don't think I have like a huge invested interest in those sorts of games. Like, it's definitely a fine theme for me, but it's just not one that I'm like absolutely sold on and I must have. And I'm not interested in superheroes either, really. I really love the aesthetics and the comic book style of this one and how much theme there was in this, but as a solo game, it was a lot of hard work to get going. It was very difficult to get to the end of a game. I died all the time, so I didn't really feel like I achieved anything. There wasn't that much I liked about it, if I'm honest, which is a shame. I think it would have really maybe made me feel a bit different if I had started this multiplayer, but I didn't ultimately. Sagrada, let's stick you in B for now. Do you belong in B tier? So I don't like Sagrada solo out of the box. I like the fan-made Automa. I have a playthrough of that one. I much prefer that. I think that gives a much more rounded experience. Beautiful game on the table, really fun multiplayer, really good playtime, 20 minutes to half an hour. Does it do enough for me to like put it into A? I don't think so, but it's one that I think is a wonderful game. It's very approachable and teachable to people as well. So I think that belongs in B tier. A lot of B tier games. Definitely got more. To be fair, like these lists are going to be quite skewed because ultimately most of these games are ones that I have put a lot of time and effort and research into, so I have a reasonable understanding of whether I'm going to like the game or not before I purchase it and put my time into it. So I'm not surprised that so many of them are skewed upwards. It just means that I do a reasonable job of researching my games. And some of these are like print and plays or ones that... No, I lie. Ignore me. It's fun. Shoes Tactics. So this is a print and play. Let's stick you in A for now. This was my very first print and play that I backed on Kickstarter, and as of now, time of recording, my only print and play that I have kickstarted. I believe it is now finished in terms of producing all the content. So it was split into 5 different chapters from my understanding. At this moment in time, I've only played through chapters 1 and 2. I was deliberately then waiting for the rest of the chapters to be released so I could print them all in one go and laminate them and go through it. It has a bit of a different feel from game to game, not a huge amount. There's just some subtle changes, and there's a little story that involves. There's a couple of events that happen and little story sections and dialogue you can read. Aesthetically, this one really appealed to me because it reminds me of like Mulan, and I love Mulan. It was a really fun game, and I'm really excited to get back into it. I love I can't remember how the dice are implemented now. I think you have is it 1d20 you're rolling? And then you're rolling that, and then that dictates what actions you're doing, because it shows you like an apple tree with like 2 apples on the left and 1 on the right, and then that shows you what actions are available. Something like that. It was really cute. So is that an A or B? Is that the best roll and write on here? I think so. It does a lot with a little. Aesthetically it's pleasing, mechanically it's fun. I think you can play multiplayer again, but it's very much like you're experiencing yourself basically, especially with the story aspects as well. A tier, I think, and I want to play through the rest of the chapters. I think it would definitely be worth my time. A Simple Life. So let's stick you in B tier. A Simple Life is a Stardew Valley based roll and write. So it's taking a lot of ideas from Stardew Valley up to like all the relationship building and the farming aspect and the fishing and the mining, taking that into a print and play. And it does a really, really good job, I think, of bringing all the aesthetics in and the mechanics, and it's a very relaxing feeling roll and write, and I loved it. It was actually my favourite roll and write, above Roll and Cook as well. Is it an A tier then? I don't think so, because I know it's still in development. There's a couple of things that I was a bit unsure of in the rules, but I had a wonderful time with it, and it's very, very cute. If you're into Stardew Valley, I would highly recommend having a look at that one. Next, we have a Solar Storm. So I've played this one a couple more times since I recorded my December vlog. Solar Storm is, let's bring this one up a little bit. So Solar Storm is a game where you are trying to navigate around your ship and redirect power from each of the individual rooms. You've got a 3x3 grid of cards, and you're moving orthogonally across your ship by moving from card to card. You're trying to discard cards from your hand which represent resources of different types to redirect power from your room you're in to the central energy core. The idea is something like your ship is going down and you're, I don't know what the theme is. It's something like you need to redirect all the power to like save your ship. I like this one. I've only played it solo so far. It's a really quite fun game so far. It's quite a challenge because you've got like a spatial aspect that you're trying to do as well, because your ship, your rooms are taking damage at the end of every round, wherever you go. And so you need to be quite aware of how much damage each room is taking, so you can discard resources to then build that or repair it a little bit. And if you all, because you're controlling 3 different characters, if you're all down one end of the ship, it's going to take too long to get to the other end of the ship to repair something that's looking very poorly. It's clever, and I haven't yet won. So it's going into B, I think, for now, because it's fun. I just need to explore it more. Once again, like theme-wise, it's not like my sort of thing necessarily. I don't particularly love space as a theme, but it's been fun so far, and I'm excited to play it more. Aesthetically, it's very beautiful to look at, so it's interesting to me. I'm looking forward to getting to know it a lot more. Squire for Hire. Now, Squire for Hire is going into A tier for me. It doesn't do a lot. It's definitely a exceedingly simple game where you are just basically laying tiles on top of one another, covering up various like pieces of junk in your bag, matching various things next to each other to gain more points, and that's basically it. So this is just a game that fits, so like ticks so many boxes for me when I'm just not feeling it. So this was, when I was doing my challenge last year, this was my go-to game when I was feeling tired or ill, or I didn't really want to play a game, because it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to play through. Doesn't really use too much brain power at all. No setup basically, and just is going to stay in my collection forever. It takes up no space on the shelf. It's a little wallet-sized game. Takes a lot of boxes for me. Oh my god. Stardew Valley. Alright, let's stick you in A. Are you an S tier game? I loved this game so much. And I do know why. I mean, I have a lot of like nostalgia around Stardew Valley. I say nostalgia, like I didn't even play it from the beginning. That video game was new to me last year as well. But this takes all of the ideas from that video game and pulls it into a board game in such a brilliant way. It's really pushing S tier, but I just don't think it reaches it because the luck aspect certainly can get to you a little bit. Yeah, I think so. I think it's A tier because I had a couple of games where I was mining. One of my goals was to reach the end of the mine, but I was rolling die, getting the wrong die rolls again and again and again and again, and there was nothing I could do about it. And so I think I lost that game, and it was annoying. But I had a brilliant time whether I lost or not. A tier, and it may push up at some point in the future, but I love Stardew Valley. So this is Sunshine City. This is another print and play. I'm sticking you in B tier. So I believe Sunshine City has a number of different like maps that you can get. I've just got the very, very simple, basic, free one. Aesthetically, it was beautiful, very, very pleasing game. It was something like, as you can tell, I haven't played this one for a long time now, but it was something like the die allowed you to like move a certain number of places around like this board, and you could activate various things in the area you were. Solo, it was actually quite well thought out. There were a number of different goals that you could have, or different like things that you could select from. So it did a lot more than a lot of print and plays would do, or a lot of games in general from a solo perspective. Aesthetically, it was very nice. I'd like to play it more. B tier. Super Skill Pinball. So I've got a picture of the real version of the game here. I did not play the real printed version, published version. I only played the basic print and play map, but I believe that that is the basic map that has been pulled into this published version. I'm pushing this into D. I didn't like this at all. I will head that up and say though, I've never checked like the rules version, so I don't know whether I was looking and learning from the very basic original print and play rules, which have now been vastly improved and reimagined in the published version, but I didn't understand quite a lot of it. It was very confusing to me. The theme was interesting, I just didn't think it was implemented as well as it could have been. It didn't capture my interest, essentially. And so it's put me off exploring this game from a published perspective. I don't really have any interest in exploring it further, and I was really quite surprised at this because I thought, in pinball roll and write game, that is cool, but it just didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. So yes, D tier for me, unfortunately. Tekhenu, oh my gosh, this is going into C tier. But it's a high C tier. The reason why it's in C tier is I think that this game is actually a probably better multiplayer. It has a very good solo mode in it. It's got a very well implemented one that works very well and it's easy to run. I've actually printed out a Board Game Geek version of like a multiplayer game that simulates an opponent in a lot more detail, and that's very good and very fun too. I just feel like this has a lot of a spatial aspect, especially in the temple area when you're playing the game, because you're building like areas in the temple and building up your like pillars and scoring of various things. That gets a lot more competitive, I would imagine, in a multiplayer game. It's very much, you've got the pick of the whole area when you're playing solo. And so I think it just detracts a little bit from my enjoyment. Also, it's a very challenging solo game. There's a lot to set up and a lot to sort of relearn every time you get it out. Aesthetically, it's very beige as well. So I think I like what it's doing. It's just, there's something about it that just doesn't quite click for me. So it's one that I would want to play again and really get a further understanding of whether it was a period of time moment or whether it is a me problem that doesn't click with the game. Three Sisters. Okay. This is going into A, I think. Do I like it as much as... Do I like it as much as Cartographers? I think I like Dinosaur more than Three Sisters. Do I like it as much as Hadrian's Wall? I think I like Hadrian's Wall more than this. Three Sisters has a solo mode that, this is a roll and write by the way, where you are planting crops. So it's a really cool theme. I love the theme of this one. So you've got your, is it like squash plants, which like their big leaves on the floor like help to get rid of all the weeds. And your second sister is like a bean plant, which grows really tall and high, and oh, I'm not even sure if that's the right way around. Is it the corn or the wheat or something like that, which grows tall and high and provides like a really good structure for beans to then grow up and be supported by it. And one of them, I don't know, takes lots of new, I don't know, they help each other grow essentially. The solo mode in this one works well because you have somebody who is like scratching things off on your own like roll and write sheet. I just wish it pushed it that much more. And maybe had like a little campaign or something like Hadrian's Wall does. So I think it's going into A tier for that reason, but it's a really, really wonderful game. I really enjoy it. The theme is really up there for me. Too Many Bones. Now, I put Too Many Bones in A tier, I believe, when I did this last week. And I felt really guilty about that. Do I want this in S tier? Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk it through. So Too Many Bones is a dice rolling, battling character builder. Chip theory games, so much like Hoplomachus Victorum, beautiful production, loads of beautiful coloured dice, neoprene mats, just wonderful, wonderful game to get out and look at. I think it maybe belongs in A. No, it's going up to S. I'm promoting it. There are a couple of things that like from a solo perspective, I prefer to multi-hand this one. I like to play it three-handed is my preferred way. I know this game quite well now, so that's quite, I wouldn't say easy, but it's much more easier to handle for me. True Solo is a slightly different game. You have a lot of different events. You have a different deck of cards you're working with. And I feel is a slightly different experience because half the fun of playing multiple gear locks of the characters that you're playing in this is that you have a lot of skills that bounce off each other and really like beef each other up. And when you're playing True Solo, that you don't get that aspect. Two-handed is the hardest way to play, in my opinion. You have a bottleneck at a certain point in the campaign that you're going through, which means that it's starting off like easy, okay, really hard, and then if you get past that point, it settles out a little bit. So, but I think the 3 and 4 player is a much more smoother experience. But I think that the overall variability, the gameplay, the feeling of progression that you get as you go through Too Many Bones, the aesthetics, the theme, everything is really top tier in this game. And I have quite a lot of content for this one, so that just goes to show how much I do like this game. I've got the base game, I've got Undertow, which is standalone expansion, but you can also integrate it if you really want to, but it's not quite the same. I've got multiple different extra gear locks, extra characters for it. I've got the campaign on top of that as well. And I've got all the extra like baddies and the extra encounters. So I've really gone all out and I don't regret that decision. So S tier game for me, I think it's my favorite chip theory that I've got on this list. Maybe, I don't know. Apparently it is at this moment in time. But chip theory games are like lifestyle games. You need to put a lot of time into them. Trismegistus, no. Trismegistus took me so long to learn how to say the name. I used to like have to break it down, and I call Trismegistus. I don't even know what Trismegistus means. I've got no concept whatsoever. I know that this game isn't widely loved. That's why it captured my attention. It captured my attention because it's one that I've heard people talk about. Like it was the lesser known T game, because you've got, I think, Takenu and Trismegistus are the same designer. I think they are. And you've got others that I can't pronounce the name of. This one was very cheap and such an interesting theme. So this is about alchemy, and you are transmuting ingredients from one thing to another and pushing them along these tracks using various elemental pieces. Oh, the theme of this one is just captures my imagination so much. I love potion making and all of that stuff. It's just juicy. The solo mode in this one is too easy out of the box. I don't mind that because it means that I can just have a great time pushing cubes around the board. I love how many combinations this one can achieve. You are constantly triggering this and triggering that and triggering this, and it's so satisfying. Aesthetically, this one definitely could do with an overhaul. There are a few, not mistakes in printing, I don't think they were, but for example, you've got like black potions and they're represented by yellow on the board, which doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they did that, and it's very beige looking. But this one, I've got a solo mode that I have taken off of Board Game Geek, which is a bit more of a challenging experience, and this one just pushes it right up into A tier for me. I love Trismegistus, and I'm so surprised that people don't talk about it more, but I think the negatives of it and aesthetically it does let itself down a little bit, and so it just didn't get as much attention as it somewhat deserved. Alright, we're nearly there. So Turing Machine, we are sticking that straight up into S tier. I think I've got more S tier games this time. I'm obviously in a better mood. Turing Machine is an insanely amazing game. I love how flexible this one is in terms of how you play. There's like so many different difficulty settings. You can make it as easy or as quick or as long or as hard as you want. Brilliant solo experience. Endless replayability, because you've got the online platform as well, which has, out of the box you've got about 20 problems to go through, but online you've got, I think, millions and millions to go through. There's definitely some repetitiveness if you just stick with the easier problems, but we're sort of expanding, me and my husband are expanding our horizons a little bit in terms of the difficulty levels. I wouldn't necessarily think that this is a good one for higher player counts, because unless you're very evenly matched in terms of the way you work out these problems, at some point you are just going to be waiting for everyone else around you. But S tier game for sure. I love Turing Machine. Under Falling Skies. For some reason, I haven't returned to the campaign of this one for a while. But Under Fallen Skies is a solo-only game where you are trying to defeat enemy ships that are encroaching on Earth and take them all down and excavate to the end. I can't remember. What's the end game of Under Falling Skies? I think you're maybe trying to get to the end of the research track. Yes, you're trying to get to the end of the research track, and you can only do that by excavating certain amounts to reveal certain rooms, which allow you to roll die and put die into these rooms to activate their ability, which enhances your ability to move up this research track. There we go. This game is really fun. It's a really wonderful solo game. I was astounded by the amount of content in this box. It's got a huge amount of replayability. I actually liken its experience a little bit to Coffee Roaster. I don't know why, because they're completely different games in how they play. This one's a bag builder with tokens. This is a dice roller with like dice placement and manipulation. Not manipulation really, but placement. I think it's A tier. For some reason though, I just don't go back to it that often, and I don't know why, but I can't really say many negative things about it. It's very, very fun. And there's also a print and play that you can try as well, which is what I tried this very unusually for me, and you know I like a game when I play it online. I tried this one on either Tabletop Simulator or Board Game Arena. It must be on Tabletop Simulator. I simulated it on there, and then I bought the actual game. So that's how you know that a game is good when I play it online, because I am not an online gamer like that. Okay, Underwater Cities. This is a funny one because, once again, and I think I said this in one of my videos previously, like when I get out and play Underwater Cities, I have such a wonderful time with it. And I always say, like, why has this not been off my shelf for so long? And why are not more people talking about this game? And then I look at this again now, and the cover does nothing for me. And I'm just like, yeah, it's all right. But I know it's so fun when you get into it. Ultimately though, the solo mode is like a beat a target score. It hasn't been pushed from a solo perspective. It's playable solo, but it's not been, you know, the focus of the game. And it's really hard. That's a me problem, but I find it exceedingly challenging. And this one I have put a lot of effort into trying to get better at, because I was falling behind quite drastically. It's not like the Tokyo or something where I'm losing by a reasonable amount of points that I feel like, it'll be next game that I can reach it. This one I feel like I've done my absolute best and I'm still 30 points away. And I've read forums as well, and nothing I do seems to change that. So I think it has to go in B for that reason. I have to... That seems so mean. But actually, if I compare it to Raiders and Honeybuzz, I think they're all about the same. There's definitely lots of things I like about all of them. And definitely a few things that just stop me playing it so much. Oh, controversial. 3 more. Welcome to Your Perfect Home. This is, I think, an A tier. A tier? What have we got everywhere else? What have we got? It's not S tier, I don't think. I think I like it a little bit less than these. Why? Why do I like it less? Honestly, I think it's the fact that I have to shuffle so many cards and set it up, and in the solo mode you've got to like shuffle it in, and then you have to stick the solo card like halfway in a little bit and then shuffle that a little bit. It's just faff. I'm not a shuffler either. I don't really know how to shuffle properly. So A tier I think it is for me. But this is a game, roll and write game, where you are trying to build up your like suburb, and you're building pools and popping in like house numbers in a consecutive row, building gardens, trying to like get little cul-de-sacs going. Really fun, aesthetically pleasing as well. It's a really cool like 1950s theme. I know they're coming out with the collector's edition, which it was a big shock. I'm not really sure that it essentially needed a collector's edition, but I've been trying to get hold. Right, I was looking for the solo AI for this one for a very long time. And I would assume that it's been incorporated into collector's edition, because I've heard exceedingly good things about the solo AI in this one. But essentially this is just a beat your own score when you play it solo out of the box that I have got, like this one. Which is why A tier, I think, for me. Alright, Witcher Old World. Wow, how to finish this list. Is that A tier for me? So it's just a huge game. It's got so much scope, and I've got various aspects of this one as well. So I've got the base game, and I've got the Legendary Monsters expansion, and I've got all of the Kickstarter extras, and that's it, I think. But there's just so much to this game. But I didn't have like a huge expectation for this one, because it was going to be you know, like an IP game, I was like, okay, it's gonna be good, but I think it would just miss the mark a little bit. But this one was so much fun. The minis are gorgeous as well, and I absolutely did not want to get it off the table, and I can't wait to get it back out again. I haven't explored this one. Like, the solo mode out of the box is it's not a beat your own score, it's like try and achieve your goals in the least amount of time possible. So it is essentially like a beat your own score, but sort of, not really, which was fine. It just didn't do anything overly exciting. I know that somebody has created a fabulous solo AI, and I'm dying to play that. So it's definitely one that I want to explore a lot more. So the scope of this one is definitely going into A tier for now. We will see at some point if it stretches into S tier. But I have so many hours into this game already, and it's blown my expectations out of the water. I've had a wonderful time. Ganz schon clever. Oh, ow. Oh, ow. Where did I put that? Did I put that into S tier? I did, you know. I have got 4 roll and writes into S tier. 4 cartographers, Dinosaur Islands. Yeah, Hadrian's Wall and Ganz schon clever. I like roll and writes, obviously. So this is just the standard Ganz schon clever. It's as themeless as you can get. There's absolutely nothing in it at all. You're simply rolling die, selecting your die, ticking a box, or entering the number. But what is brilliant about this one is just how addictive it is, and how quick it can play, and how challenging it is to get the highest scores. So I quite often brought this one. This was sort of hand in hand with Squire for Hire. When I didn't really want to play anything at all, I'd play Squire for Hire because it would be a 10-minute experience. Ganz schon clever is like a 20-minute experience, but 9 times out of 10, I would get this one out, play a game, and automatically just play another one straight after, because it's such a wonderful, wonderful game, and it's so addictive. Really fun multiplayer, really approachable, and I still haven't got into those higher score categories, so yes, S tier for me. So we have finally got to the end. 87 games ranked today. Wow, wow, wow. So I think I have actually changed this up a little bit from what I did last week. I'm obviously in a better mood because I've got more S tier games. But yeah, I'll slowly scroll through now so you can see if you wanted to have another look at any of the other sections. But I hope that was interesting to you. There we go. Very minimal D tier games, and I think I definitely want to replay all of these C tiers at some point to see if they need to be moved on at any point.
Got a little sub note for you. I did notice during the editing process that Zoo Tycoon wasn't included in the thumbnails. I don't know how it got missed off, but Zoo Tycoon would fall into A tier for me. It narrowly misses out on S tier for a couple of reasons. I feel like the solo mode could have been pushed just that little bit more with like an automa style or some scenarios, just to sort of give it that little bit more oomph. And some of the rules did definitely need like a little bit of streamlining or like rehashing in terms of how they're worded in the rule book as well. I do understand that the designers are sort of working on a lot of different improvements and working on some solo scenarios, not necessarily just solo though. I think it could be solo and multiplayer, but all of that is sort of in the pipeline and lots of whispers about that. So hopefully that may actually push Zoo Tycoon into S tier for me if we do this list again at some point.
So that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for that. And funnily enough, this is about 2 hours long in terms of recording now, so I haven't made this any swifter than my last recording, although I've already done this list in my head, so it should have been quicker. It hasn't turned out to be. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and let me know if you have seen this from other creators. I'd love to see some other creators do this. I think it'd be really interesting to see where their interests lie and how they go about approaching these lists. But otherwise, what would be in your S tier for 2023? I should have headed up this video as well, is that this is not necessarily games that were released last year. A very minimal amount of these were actually released last year, but this is just the games that I played in 2023. And because I don't focus on new releases with that much, you know, I'm not really like a new release chaser. I much more prefer actually to go through the tried and tested older games. If you did enjoy the content today, please consider subscribing to the channel and you will be let know of any future releases that I do. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye!